This is Kip Marlowe. I'm the host of Entrepreneurs Club Radio, and we just listened to Dr. Ray Kralovic talk about a little bit about how he started Steris. There's a lot more to talk about, and there's a lot more questions to ask. We probably don't have enough time, but we also have Gary Schoeniger in the studio with us. I'm glad Gary didn't have to call in. He came in today, and Gary is the co-author with Clifton Talbert of Who Owns the Ice House? The 8 life's lessons that teach entrepreneurship. And he, as I said at the top of the hour, he has weaved a course on entrepreneurship around the book and is probably looking at hundreds of colleges that are interested, have already bought the program, or will be interested in the very near future. So, Gary, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Kip. It's great to be back here.
How's the bestseller going?
It's going. It's going. We got a tiger by the tail.
You got a tiger by the tail.
We got a tiger by the tail. Yeah, we do.
Well, I love it. It's a great book. I read it twice, and then you gave me a copy of it. And then I went out and bought one, and I passed it around to friends. So the original copy I'm keeping because I don't want to lose that one. So talk to me about what you're doing. Who is the typical college or community college or university that is coming to you for help?
So the idea when we created the course around the Ice House and Clifton Talbert's story was we saw like a missing piece. We saw that at the highest levels, policymakers are clamoring for a more entrepreneurial culture at all levels of society.
Yes. From
self-employed small business owners to entrepreneurial workforce to high-growth entrepreneurs like Dr. Kralovic sitting right next to you. So we saw that this is this huge problem, but that the way that it was being addressed wasn't going to meet this need. Mm-hmm. So a lot of colleges are trying to foster high-growth entrepreneurship. But, while these high-growth Mark Zuckerberg type stories are popular, they represent a very narrow sliver of the entrepreneurial story or the entrepreneurial population.
It's like 0.1% of...
It's a very, very small sliver. But this, what I call visibility versus representation issue, is misleading. And what we found is that the average entrepreneur is an ordinary person, doesn't have a game-changing idea, is forced to figure out how to forge ahead with very limited resources.
Gets thrown in the pool?
Gets pushed in the pool, as Dr. Kralovic says. And lots of uncertainty. The idea is unrecognizable.
Yes.
It's not fundable.
Yes.
So how do those entrepreneurs succeed? That's the course we created that's now being taught in universities all over the United States and in Latin America. We've got schools in Latin America now teaching it.
That's amazing. Latin America?
Yeah.
How did you get to them?
They found us.
They did?
Yeah. A university in Cali, Colombia,
yeah,
is now teaching the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program, and we're in early conversations with them. They want us to train teachers
Sure.
in their education system
Sure.
how to implement this program.
Well, talk about the program. It's online?
Yes, it's an interactive online. It's a classroom tool.
Okay.
So, it can be taught online only, but optimally in a blended. And what that means for those who are outside of this realm is part of it is online, the student views on their own, but most of the work is done in a classroom in peer-to-peer learning, self-directed peer-to-peer learning.
No teacher?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a good question, Kip, because one of the problems we saw is that, and I'm speaking generally, so I don't mean to offend anyone, but more or less, educators don't really understand entrepreneurship.
Sure.
And they tend to think it means, writing a business plan and cash flow projections, so they don't understand, they default to these mechanical.
Yeah.
We developed this methodology that we took from medical school. It's called self-directed problem-based learning, where the students work in groups to solve problems, which is all entrepreneurship is problem solving, as Dr. Kralovic just attested to. But the teacher plays the role of a facilitator of learning.
Okay.
So not the subject matter expert. The entrepreneurs that we interviewed that are in the course We took 300 stories and distilled it into a curriculum.
Gotcha.
The entrepreneurs that are interviewed in the course are the subject matter experts. The teacher is the role of facilitator.